Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 17th of March. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
And Gary, it's good that we're here because there are a lot of people now that are stuck at home saying to themselves, will the sun ever rise again? Are you socially distancing
I am socially
yourself
distancing myself from you. Look, Philip, it is an interesting time we live in.
Yes.
But the most interesting thing is I don't think it affected the market on the weekend. I have to say that, Phil, because I reckon if I look at our options...
You have to say it or you want to say it? Right?
Well,
when you say you have to say it, is that because you're just talking things up, or you have to say it because it's the fact, or you have to say it because that's what you think you should say? What does have mean in context
I have to say
of this
because
issue?
I think that everybody who's tuning in to this hard-hitting, action-packed, fact-filled episode is going to want to know what's going on with my corona, Philip. And I've got to say that, and I'm going to say it now, I don't believe when we looked at the weekend that we've just had and we looked at the auctions and we predicted how things would unfold, I don't think that what has happened in the world made a difference. That's my statement.
Well, I've got to tell you,
that's
Gary,
my pitch.
Thank you, and thankfully that the viewers are not.
That's how it is.
They're not coming to this show. They're not viewing this show to get the latest on immunology.
No, we wouldn't want that, Phil, because certainly it's not a medical show. We know that. It's a real estate show. It's a show of nonsense with some property involved. But I think if you are a seller or you're a buyer, you're all wondering what the hell's going on. And people tune in to get the facts, Phil. The reality is we had a weekend clearance of how many?
We had 25 auctions viewers.
And we sold?
18.
And the number was, Philip?
72. Bang on 72% clearance.
Against the industry average of? I think it was 71, was it?
No, 68%.
68%,
yep.
Okay. So we've outperformed the industry again, but 68%, or call it 70%, is still a very positive clearance, Philip. So people still want property. They might not want shares.
Can you not look at me when you talk? Can you make sure that you
they may not want shares.
Direct your
they may not
breath
want shares.
And your spittle to...
Your
breath and your spittle
they may
towards
not want
our
shares, Phil, but people want property. Never more so has property been the place to put your money in than right now.
Okay, so viewers, let me give you an overview of the weekend. We had some really well-attended auctions.
Some beauties.
And I must say, Saturday morning as I was getting dressed and getting all ready, I did think to myself, well, I wonder what's going to happen this weekend. And I wondered whether there would be any spectators at the auctions.
I think let's let some truths be known, Philip. The first auction was in Remuera Road. We had a list of buyers, and of course the first buyer we had on our list who wasn't there. This is how we started our weekend. We rang them up, and this is probably the only time it happened on the weekend, and they said, no, we're not coming. We're a bit nervous about what's going on. We thought, that's it, it's all over.
That was our 10:30 auction Saturday morning.
Back to waiting at tables on the
pancake
parlour. We did a great job there. Or back to the market. Well, you can't have a market at the moment. We thought that was it. So our 10:30 first auction. That's the first buyer we rang, and we thought this is going to be Armageddon. It's going to be Armageddon out of real estate. It's going to be the end of the world. Anyway, as it turned out,
Armageddon out of real estate.
Armageddon out of real estate.
That.
You like that?
Armageddon. That was very good, viewers.
A very good.
Gary, so viewers, I just wanted to say this.
Anyway, we sold it well, by the way.
We all were concerned on Saturday morning would there be people there? Yes. And ultimately, what I expected, I'll tell you what my expectations were last weekend, Gary. I expected the buyers to be there, but I expected the crowd not to be there.
Yep. So now you're breathing on me.
I thought to myself, absolutely, people that want to buy a house, they'll come, they'll just exercise.
But no neighbours will come out.
They'll exercise social distancing, but generally people won't be there. Well, I've got to tell you, some of the crowds we had were
as good
massive
as good
crowds.
as any, if not better. I mean, it's quite extraordinary. So people who want houses, they are not perturbed, Philip. And of course, this is evolving. We don't know what's going to happen. We've already taken some very responsible measures in our offices. I've got to say, for us, as people who generally just fly and run and really don't worry too much, we've actually behaved very responsibly.
We have, Gary.
People are working remotely.
Technology,
iPhones,
iPhones, iPads.
And people are at home, and we know they can't leave the country at the moment, which is good as well. So it's a very interesting time, Phil. And the numbers out there were good. The clearances were good. We had a good listing week last week.
We did.
People are still wanting to sell and get on top of the program, get started. So the signs are positive in a period of time, a little avenue of time, period of history where there's not a lot of positivity around.
I've got to tell you, I don't mind this social distancing. I think 1.5 metres between people is not
you're
a
such
not a bad
such
thing.
a germaphobe. You're worried about people breathing on you and all that. So at the best of times. So actually, for you, this actually plays right into your hands.
Actually, well, and I love this new expression, social distancing. It reminded me, and I said this at an auction. This social distancing, Gary, is not a new phenomena. I found that social distancing was around when I was single.
Yeah, well, that's right.
I found that a lot of people, when I walked into a singles bar, there was a whole thing
around
me of social
into the 80s. It wasn't into the 80s. There was social distancing. It happened then, Phil.
It's not a new
just around you.
Not a new phenomena. I've experienced this before.
So the big talk from Sunday, Philip, and I'm just going to shoot ahead a bit, is a little bit about your suit because it was probably one of the most polarising suits you've ever worn. And I'm, for me, I've got a big. Can you just come and help me work out my wardrobe?
I'm going to. I'm going to come over and do a wardrobe cull with you.
Yeah, you're going to.
It'll basically look like this.
We should film
it. We should film this. I'm going to just walk in. I'm going to have a team of people in quarantine outfits.
Thanks for that. Yeah, very good.
And we're just going to throw everything out.
Yeah, no. Well, you've got to see that I've got about, because you've got, 40 suits probably?
No.
I reckon
I don't
50 suits. You've got 50, 60,
No.
60, 65, it increased to 65, 70 over there, thank you. So you've got whatever, how many 100 suits you've got. And I've got all these suits, but I only actually have the 5 that I wear. And then there's about another 20.
The other 20 is just to make you look good.
Well, I think there was one for my 21st birthday. I think there's a few of them that have been there for a long time. But anyway, you come and help me sort it out. But that suit, tell me about that suit.
Okay, Gary, so that was my latest suit. I think
we've got some images of it.
First of all, I don't mind saying that it is a silk and wool number.
Yeah.
An Italian,
who, pray tell, made your suit, Philip?
An Italian cloth at that. And what I can say about that suit is that everybody's missed the point on this suit, right? Because I don't want to wear a suit that's not polarising. I want to wear a suit where people will go, hey, did you see what Philip Kingston wore last weekend? Or look at what Philip Kingston's wearing. Because it's all about me, and as long as you're talking about me, I'll wear anything.
Exactly right.
Wear a clown suit. I'll wear a unicorn costume. A unicorn costume. I don't mind as long as you're talking about me.
This is not the time to play at your fantasies, Philip. But half the crowd was, of course, applauding. The other half was throwing fruit at you, weren't they? So
no one threw fruit. But I guarantee you one thing, Gary, is that everybody that was at that auction knew I was there.
Yeah, that's right. It became a real talking point, actually. Anyway, Phil, shall we review some of our auctions for the weekend?
Bit of a shout out, by the way, Tommy, who we saw at our auction in Bamber Road on the corner of Glen. Shout out to Tommy, who is one of our dedicated viewers, who said when he's overseas, he loves to watch GPTV because it gets him to reconnect with his home. And sometimes he's overseas, he's feeling a bit lonely. What does he do? He goes onto GPTV for some cheer and bonhomie. Bonhomie?
Well, how about that? Because we've got, now I reckon a lot of people will be watching it now because there's no footy. Oh, well, there is footy, but you can't go to the footy, I suppose. Grand Prix, the races. How about the races on Saturday? The All-Star Mile, which is the richest race in Caulfield's history. Not a person there to see it.
Do horses get corona?
No, they don't. Animals don't get corona.
Animals don't get it.
No, they just get injected. They just get cobalt and they get the whip with the sparks in it and all that. So they don't get.
All right, move on. Come on, let's talk real estate, viewers. Yes, a difficult weekend we expected to have, but we came through with shining colours, with some really good, strong results, and some results that sold so far in excess of reserve. I wouldn't mind talking quickly about a property that I auctioned for Jack Slater and Dan from our Carnegie office.
That's in Malane Street, Ormond, Phil.
Malane Street, Ormond. That was an amazing result.
Sold for $1,475,000, way more than the very low ones we expected, Philip, around 1.1 to 1.2.
And interestingly, and there's a bit of footage with me saying to Lior, who was filming, we had 5 bidders. 5 bidders at that auction, Gary. 5. I say 5 bidders at that auction.
You'd love that.
5 bidders. That was extraordinary.
And
5
of course,
bidders.
And of course, around the corner, Graham Callan, affectionately known as the G Train. That's his, So if you see Graham Callan, you can say, "Hey, the G Train." He doesn't mind that. He had an auction in Fraser Street, Ormond, Philip, with the same sort of quote, and of course the same sort of result.
So here's a lovely piece.
$1,420,000, Philip.
Okay,
sold.
so nice little bit of real estate trivia. So I auctioned Malane Street for a lovely couple that got far more than they were expecting to get. So Malane Street runs parallel, and it's immediately next to Fraser Street. The vendors that sold Malane Street went an hour later and bought the house in Fraser Street.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
that.
So
if they hadn't have done well, they might not have bought Fraser Street.
So the vendor of Malane was the buyer
the seller of Malane went and became the buyer of Fraser Street. So only about 150 metres apart.
That is very cool, Philip.
Apart.
Unbelievable. There you go. And Philip, we finished off Saturday in Noel Street in Brighton East, selling for somebody who is in the industry, Philip. We remain forever the agent's agent.
Well, we sold there for a vendor advocate or a buyer advocate or a vendor and buyer advocate. Lovely guy. Shout out to him and his lovely family who had the nicest children, I don't mind saying.
Real estate professional, Philip.
And a really good result there, and well done to Leon Guzenfitter and the team. And they have really developed a very strong following in that pocket of East Brighton.
We've got all of these agency of the year awards. We're going to have some boast time, but we probably haven't.
Maybe do
we'll do another time. But of course, Philip, we have won so many awards, and of course, Leon is the guy from East Brighton. I think we're selling. Going back to Ormond, I think we sold the biggest and best and most, maybe in Ormond. And in East Brighton, I looked at the auction results, we sold the most. That pocket for us is humming.
Gary, our strategy of opening Carnegie, Murrumbina and Bentley offices, working in conjunction with our Caulfield offices, is a strategy that's working a treat.
It is indeed, Phil. We are pumping out there in those areas, that's for sure. Phil, we won't review too many more auctions because we need to get on the show on the road, but Gourlay Street was my 10:30am auction again.
I hear there were 100 people there.
There's 100 people there. No one worried about social distancing or corona or anything. The people just wanted to be in Gourlay Street, Phil. This apartment, which was an extraordinary apartment with a courtyard, which was, the reserve was in the top of the range, and the range was 4 to 440. The reserve there, Philip, was smashed when we ended up selling it for $535,000.
Was this a one-bedroom apartment?
One-bedroom apartment, $535,000.
Did it have a courtyard garden?
It did have a courtyard, Philip.
Was it an extraordinarily large apartment? Because that's an extraordinarily large price.
It was certainly larger than usual, but there is just such hot demand for great one-bedroom apartments out there. It's quite extraordinary. And Philip, I think we should move on to 98. A couple of other ones to talk about. 98 Bramble Road did sell immediately after auction. The price is undisclosed. And Craddock Avenue hasn't sold. But I reckon
that's a buy.
If you wanted to hear a screaming buy, if you wanted to hear about a screaming buy, Philip, a screaming buy, then come to this home in Craddock Avenue, Philip. $2,595,000. That's a great value home, I reckon.
It is.
A good block of land.
Great north-facing block of land with a fantastic, very solid super sexy 60s house, Gary.
Indeed. Phil, should we review this week's auctions?
Let's do it.
So as we head into the later part of March, Phil, our second last March auction week, we had 20 auctions over 10 suburbs, Phil. We are out there thumping and pumping and making it all happen. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. We're just going to sell real estate because that's what we're entrusted to do.
That's what we were born to do, Gary. Clearly, when we were born, the doctors had one look at our little faces and said, those are faces built for real estate.
Born to sell, they said, Phil. Born to sell. Phil, let's start off with Saturday morning. We've got 4 auctions at 10:30am. It's a busy time slot.
It is.
We're going to start off, we're going to start off in the area of St Kilda, Philip, and St Kilda East,
very nice apartment. This, Gary.
Alexandra Street, Simon Dolnick auctions.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Alexandra Street, a favourite position of ours.
Leo Samuel, he is in Carnegie, he's in Glen Huntley, he's everywhere, including St Kilda proper, Philip, in Princess Street.
1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, a fine-looking building and a beautiful apartment.
Graham Callender earlier referred to as the G train, Philip.
Yes,
he is leaving the station and going to be auctioning in his hood in Carnegie.
It's 1 bedroom after 1 bedroom because this is another 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, a mighty fine looking property, if I don't mind saying.
I'm going to start my auction weekend at 10:30am, Philip, around the corner from your joint. Where you
joint.
live. Yeah, not far.
Wattletree
if you're
Road,
sleeping in, Philip, because you don't have a 10:30 auction, if you're sleeping in, I'm going to wake you up with the speakers, Phil.
You probably will. I drive past that on a regular basis. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and 2 car spaces, Gary.
It is an exceptional apartment, Philip.
It is, and it's an exceptional building, and from there you can literally... Actually, you've got 2 car spaces. Why you'd even need a car when you've got a tram on your doorstep, a train station on your doorstep, and one of Melbourne's best shopping strips and centres on your doorstep. Walk to everywhere from there.
Nestled at the back of the block with a beautiful balcony, north-facing, Philip. This is an outstanding apartment.
Back of the block.
We look forward to seeing you there.
That after a few vodkas.
Exactly right. I wouldn't dare. We have a triple auction action at 11:30am. Philip, you get your start. So have a coffee somewhere around the Glen Iris area because at 11:30 you're going to be doing the Finch thing, Philip.
Gary, what a beautiful street. First of all, Finch Street, one of the best and most premier streets of that Glen Iris and Malvern area. And you could buy that house and walk to have a swim in the morning every morning at Harold Holt Pool, which is a bizarre thing to call a swimming pool, the Harold Holt swimming pool.
There's an irony on that, isn't there?
I still don't know how that's not a national joke.
It's absolutely crazy, isn't it?
Only Aussies could call a swimming pool after a Prime Minister that drowned.
It's quite extraordinary, isn't it?
Like, Australians, you need to celebrate this sort of stuff. Anyway, that's the most extraordinary home, Gary. A Kevin Boylan original, and it's a stunning house in every possible way.
Kevin Boylan?
Yeah.
Boylan eggs?
Move along.
Carnegie, Philip, Koonang Road, Leo Samuel meets Jack Slater, and off we go with this terrific property.
Gary, a single-storey villa, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a lock-up garage, a car space in front. That's really very popular real estate, Gary, because you get land and you get bricks and mortar. That's a really good property.
I'm flying off from Malvern, Philip, or Armadale, I should say.
Flying off, Gary.
Yes, I'm flying off from Wattletree Road all the way over to Tennyson Street, Philip, where we started our real estate career in that kind of St Kilda beautiful area.
Gary, and I love these buildings. If you have a look at that building, viewers, it's a
looker.
really good, solid 1970s building. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, been beautifully renovated throughout. And viewers, if you buy these older buildings, you get more square metres than you do in the new buildings. So, they're generally the 60s and 70s buildings.
Generously proportioned.
They were built at the time where space wasn't so much at a premium.
Hey, you've only got 1 auction on Saturday this week. That's it.
Really?
That's
really?
it.
Okay. I'll be putting my
slowly,
feet up on the...
That's what happens when you bring your sons into the business. They slowly just start to push you out. They go, yeah, Dad, thanks very much, and off you go. But you can come and visit me, Philip, because I've got 3 or 4 on.
Hardly likely to do that, Gary.
Well, you're always a good assistant at an auction. I think you're better at assisting than running auctions.
You know what,
these
I like
days,
interrupting.
I know, you're very good at interrupting, but I'm going to be in Elizabeth Street, Phil, at 12:30, auction this fantastic block of land, great looking home, pool in the back.
And I've got to tell you, I drove past that house on my way to the Noel Street auction in Brighton East last weekend.
Good look, hasn't it?
And not only that, but I love the street. The street is really, really nice. I love that little pocket because you can walk to the tram in Hawthorn Road and there's that group of shops which no doubt will just continue to gentrify. But that's a lovely house. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. I love that English style.
Me too.
Swimming pool.
Good looking home.
It's a good house.
Get there if you can at 12:30 on Saturday. We are going to have another auction also at 12:30, Philip. Graham continues his auction day, and he's going to be in Glentley Road, Carnegie.
What a beautiful apartment, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, and that is just beautiful throughout with its timber floors and its gorgeous kitchen and bathroom.
Our 4th auction in Carnegie for Saturday, Philip. It's a busy day. We are going to be in Acacia Street, Leo Samuel auctions this one. Jack Slater has been handling it.
Well, Jack's doing an incredible job, Gary. 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, a beautiful house, immaculate condition, and a good parcel of land, and of course Carnegie just goes from strength to strength.
It keeps pumping, doesn't it, Phil?
Who would have ever thought, Carnegie is a suburb?
I've always loved it.
No, we've always liked it, but we should have realised all those years ago that, Chadstone just over there, train station, trams, Malvern across the road, close to Caulfield. I mean, it was always going to boom, wasn't it?
There, the racecourse, Philip, as well. You can walk there if you want to. Philip, we finish off. The curtain is closed. Comes down on Saturday at 2:30 p.m. with Jeremy Rosen's auction. This fine home in Hawthorn Road.
Art Deco style on a lovely parcel of land, Gary. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, immaculate condition, great floor plan, really good entry into the market.
We're going to whack you hard on Sunday.
You're going to whack me
hard?
hard?
We're going to whack you hard on Sunday, Philip. You can have a nice little easy Saturday,
but
we're going to whack you hard on Sunday. We're going to whack you hard into the ground, in fact. How many auctions did you do last weekend?
You're going to work me hard or whack me hard?
Probably a bit of both. Tell me, how many auctions did you do last
Okay, Gary.
How did you feel yesterday
So I just want to, viewers, take you through this. Saturday, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, home by 5. Sunday, had a late start, slept in, had a big bowl of porridge, started at 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, home by 6. Can't imagine why I didn't want to go out on Sunday night dancing. Had to cancel my dancing class, my tango classes.
We didn't talk also.
You know what? I've bounced back pretty well. I'm kind of a bit surprised.
Yeah, you're very fit. You are very fit. You got that over me. I'll give you that. I'm not as fit as you, but I'm competitive still, aren't I? In my own sort of
unfit way. Sleepy, pasty, putrid
okay,
way.
I'll leave it there. I shouldn't have opened that conversation. Hey, by the way,
you asked me to give you an opinion.
I know, I opened up the door for it. Hey, how about last Sunday, by the way? We didn't talk about that, the apartment that you sold in Balaclava Road, because that was we should have reviewed that. Because that was a very positive one. And there was another one we sold before.
What a beautiful building.
Number
Number 4, let's get it up on screen. Number 43 Balaclava Road, designed by Amnon Weber Architecture. A beautiful building.
Doesn't he do a great job?
There's still some apartments left in that building. We're going to roll them out slowly and progressively.
Rolling.
But a beautiful building, and I must say,
apartments rolling.
That hasn't it got an impressive entrance? You know, you walk down that beautiful hallway. Most developers, viewers, they save their money on the entrance halls, because when we're selling off the plan, no one really focuses.
Shouldn't do it.
But I've got to tell you, this has got just the most delightful sense of entry.
And you're going to feel good coming home every time visitors come. I think it's a good start to your day or night.
You don't need a car there either, even though it does come with 2 side-by-side car spaces.
Yeah, the tram's right there, Phil, but that was nestled at the back.
Right
anyway, let's keep going, Philip, because we start off on Sunday at 10:30am. We're going to start your hard work with Nikki Janova in Snowdon Avenue.
Snowdon Avenue. We love Snowdon Avenue, and this is a beautiful home of 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and a double lock-up garage. Got everything that opens and shuts. It's a beautiful home.
And Philip, of all the properties that we sell,
yes,
there can't be a better townhouse that you'll find ever than this one. Of
all
the properties that we sell, Philip,
you're so
you
clever,
will not
Gary.
find a better property
This is
than
number 4.
This is our property of the week, Philip. It is in Alder Street, 48.
So I want to just quickly shout out,
Caulfield
obviously
South.
the clients are great clients, because they were the ones that commissioned DDB Design.
Yes.
David McCallum from DDB Builders.
And Marianne.
He's a guy, and Marianne,
his wife,
who does the interior side of the business. We've been dealing with them now for, I reckon, about 15 years.
Yeah.
I reckon some of Melbourne's best homes have been done by DDB.
They're up there, aren't they?
And I suggest you go online, follow DDB on Instagram, and have a look at their site, because they have produced some beautiful work, and this is one that they've just finished, and what a great property.
Brand
complete with a lock-up garage, a second car space, a lift, 4 bedrooms. That main bedroom is like checking into the suite of a luxury hotel, and I'm talking not a 4-star, not a 4.5-star, possibly 6-star hotel, Gary. This
8-star.
is magnificent.
9-star.
We're not auctioning stars.
Fair enough.
But beautiful home, and as again, shout out to DDB Design.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to that one, Philip, 11:30am. At the same time, we are going to be doing an auction also in Caulfield South, Philip, not far away in Spring Road.
Yes.
Leo Samuel and Aviv are going to be working on that
Spring Road, we've had so much success in Spring Road. We've had about 4 sales there over the last 12 months, Gary. And Spring Road, if you haven't been to Spring Road, go and have a look at it, because it's one of the few streets anywhere in Melbourne that has a park running down the centre of it.
You don't find that anywhere.
You don't.
Maybe
There's
in the UK
there's 2 in
Phil.
Caulfield, funnily enough. There's one just around the corner in Remuera Road. But this is unusual. And
but Malane Road is in between 2 streets. This is in the one street, Philip. So it's quite unique that way, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Gary.
Don't lose sight of that.
Between Marara and Karawina.
The other one is, but this is all Spring Road. It's central
so you
green,
think that's
Philip.
better somehow?
I think it's unique, Philip, is what I'm saying. It's not a competition.
All right,
Don't
come on,
have to
move
get
along,
upset
Gary.
about it.
Move along to 27B Pine Street in
well,
Caulfield.
I'm looking forward to auctioning that one and meeting young Daniel Peer there, who's been very positive and upbeat and excited about bringing this to the market. It's a fantastic
I'm going to say a
townhouse.
shout out to your son, because I've been meaning to say something to him. His Instagram posting is fantastic. I absolutely.
He's very loud, isn't he?
Do you know what? I think that's
he's
kind
young. Why not be loud?
But he's loud, but I think it's kind of iconic in a way. But it's more that his. I'm watching. I'm watching his social media.
He had to be loud to get a word in.
I'm watching his social media, and I reckon it's great. So follow Daniel Peer on Instagram. Shout out to him. I'm not sure what his Instagram handle is. Just ring me and I'll let you know. We'll put it up on screen.
Yeah, put it up on screen.
Daniel Peer, because he's actually, for a young guy, right across every part of our organisation, doing a great job.
He loves it. That's very kind of you to say. Anyway, he's very excited, and he lives, sleeps, breathes, eats real estate, and he's looking forward to that one in Pine, which is a great town residence, Philip, in a great location.
Yes, move along.
We're going to go to Testar Grove.
Testar Grove. Well, I've had a lot to do with this property. It is a magnificent home. First of all, Testar Grove, right in the epicentre of the Golden Mile. Wonderful parcel of land, but more importantly, this solid brick, single-storey family home sits upon it. You could move straight into it on settlement day, or you could think about how you might improve it as the years go by. But, you know, is it the land or is it the house? You've got this delicate balance, and I think that those are the very best investments to buy.
They're the best buys, Phil, because you pay land value, but you get a great shell,
absolutely.
a great home,
well,
a great
This
opportunity.
is not a shell, this is a beautiful family home, but there is this kind of fine balance between will we be having the land buyers or the home buyers. I think the home buyers are going to win here, Gary, because it's just so immaculate.
Great street, Philip. 130 got double auction action, Bond Street. Hello,
yes.
Bond.
Well, you know, over the years, viewers, a lot of people in the street have mistaken me for Daniel Craig. There's a story to that, but
it's not a true story, but there's a story.
There is. There is. There are a number of viewers that watch this show regard me as a Daniel Craig type.
Which number of you? How many is that number?
There is a viewer
How are you tracking
somewhere.
those numbers?
There is. It's actually. I'll get to his name in a moment.
Okay.
4 Bond Street.
Hey, by the way, you know, talking about that, and I know I'm right out of order, but somebody did send us an email. Basically said everything, the whole world's coming to an end. Everyone should sell. Investors should buy. We got one of those emails. I just thought I'd talk about that. So thanks for that, Doomsdayer. Anyway, let's keep going.
Thanks for your happy thoughts. 376 square metres, Gary, of prime land right in an area that's just going from strength to strength. The whole redevelopment of the race course is just bringing new life and entertainment and facilities to that area.
Don't we love it?
So Bond Street, you've got the Caulfield train station, you've got the tram and Balaclava Road, you've got Caulfield Park, and you've got the East Caulfield shopping centre, walking distance. I love houses. I love apartments that are walking distance to incredible facilities, Gary.
Shall we move on, Philip,
to
one of the best streets in Caulfield North, where a block of land just sold for a record price, and that's Crottenhurst Avenue, Philip. And of course, why wouldn't it be good? Because I live around the corner from there.
Gary, this is a single-storey, solid brick villa home, one of only 2, that was designed by David Edelman, I believe, for his mother.
Is that right?
And she lived there. But this is a really good property. You could move straight into it or improve it as the years go by. But single-storey in Crottenhurst, hard to find.
I'm going to interrupt you because we sit here for a minute, we talk about the properties. We stand here, we talk about the properties, we talk about David Edelman, we talk about Amnon Weber, we talk about the McCallum brand, and we talk about like Omnicon homes as well. And aren't we lucky to be in this area? Of all the times to be alive, all the places to be living, and all of the industries to be working in, are we not blessed?
Count your blessings, viewers. Count your blessings. Doesn't matter how miserable your life is. There's always someone that has a more miserable life than you.
Isn't that a positive
spin? If that's how we reframe it, probably poor choice. But we are blessed, Gary. We're blessed. We're blessed to have a loving partnership. We're blessed to have wonderful families. We're blessed to do the things that we do. We're blessed to be able to help people get shelter. That's the way I look at our business.
Providing shelter.
Providing shelter.
Philip, at 2:30.
I'd almost do this for free, Gary.
Almost. Philip. There's a big gap between almost and doing it, though, isn't it? Like there's charging here, and then there's free there.
The
almost is just here.
Nullarbor Plains.
That's it.
That's about the distance.
It's a big gap from the almost, isn't it? Philip,
just a quick shot of the Nullarbor Plains.
There we go. There's the almost.
There's the distance.
Yeah, 3 at 200 Glen Road, Philip. You are going to be doing the 2:30 auction for this terrific-looking property, Philip. I love it.
Gary, it is a great-looking property. Beautiful floor plan. Beautiful inside. There's just everything to love about it, and hard to find a 3-bedroom apartment, by the way, Gary.
It's very hard to, and that one's well priced too, I reckon, Philip, in that sort of high 6s into the 7s. Philip, we finish off in a classic home in the Golden Mile of Caulfield North, Philip. We are in Wootton Grove, Caulfield North. It is our sole 3:30 auction. I'm going to be there with you, as will the Prestige team involved with it. Take us through this property.
Well, Gary, firstly, here's a bit of a quiz, viewers. How many streets in the epicentre of the Golden Mile can you find a house with a north-facing back garden?
Not many, Philip.
And I've got to tell you, I'm going to go out. If we call the traditional Golden Mile is Ormond to Kooyong and Balaclava down to Glen Road. How many streets, Gary?
Very few, Philip.
Bit of a tip, viewers, less than 5, and Wootton Grove is one of those. A wonderful street that is the interconnector between the best streets. So it connects Howitt, Lamia, Aruna, and then through to Atira Road. So it's a small connecting street with very few houses in it. But having said that, we did sell a house in that street for in excess of $7 million.
That's true, Philip.
This is a great opportunity because it's a gorgeous 50s home. I love the home. It's so immaculate.
And it won't take $7 million to buy this one.
No, it won't, Gary. No, it won't. But it's got a north-facing back garden. You could move into this house. You could easily let it out as you might pursue further future plans. But it's a great property, and I'm excited to do it. And it's been in the same family's hands for decades.
Yes, mid-century lovers. Mid-century home lovers come to that. So, Phil, that's a bit of a wrap.
Oh, what a long show, Gary.
Lots to cover, lots to talk about, lots of people thinking, the hell's going on in this world, this crazy world? Well, I got to tell you, it's business as usual. Properties are selling, auctions are well attended, buyers are coming forward, sellers are coming forward, and we are all hard at work making it happen in the world of real estate.
I was going to bring up a piece of interesting trivia, but I've got to save it for next week, viewers. That's the hook to watch next week. I bet you can hardly wait. Viewers, we're excited, we're pumped. We will get through these difficult times in the most positive and fun and happy way. Yes. May you be healthy, may you be happy, may you love those around you, and always look out for your next door neighbour, because just in case they need something like toilet paper, this is the sharing world we must be with.
And that's a big wrap on GPTV. I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Philip Kingston. Have a fabulous week.